welcome back to Join Our Town. I'm your host for this segment, Eugene Norris. On this segment, we're going to continue to talk with you, actually, where we're talking about behavior modification. I already had some tremendous information shared on the first half, and we have the pleasure of having back with us Miss Diana Bossier. She's already becoming one of my favorite guests because of the things she's talking about today. But as we're dealing with, she's a parenting consultant and actually with child and adolescent behavior. I'm going to ask those of you that may have missed it, her to touch base on that just real briefly again, and then we're going to get into this topic today as we deal with behavior modification. Diana, you already just shared some tremendous information with us already because you're talking about one of the most valuable commodities we have, and that's our children.
That's right.
And our families. But do this again for those that may just be tuning in.
Child and Adolescent is a Stark County-based agency. It's a mental health agency. We have an early childhood division up through age 21. Therapists, group therapy, adventure groups, amazing qualified staff that can deal with anxiety and all kinds of things that are disruptive and getting in the way of children's better functioning, whether or not it's in school, in home, or whatever. So it's an amazing agency.
Tremendous. And you know, Diana, you shared such tremendous information before, but as we're talking about behavior modification, you know, as we stated earlier, you know, children don't come with an instruction, so parents just kind of wing their way through it or model behavior that they've seen before.
That's what I see.
Talk to us about this, you know, because most of us, you get frustrated with your child and it becomes to yelling, to screaming, to hitting. Well, we're thinking we're effective. What's going on when we do that?
Well, I ask parents, how effective is that? They say, all right, you know what, it worked for me. My daddy made me go get a switch, and you know, it worked for me. Heard the stories. And so now I stand my child in the wall with his corner against the nose against the corner. And then my question is, how is that working? And is that lifting your child? Is that inspiring your child to do it again? Or is it working? Is he doing those same behaviors again? And generally, the same behaviors are reoccurring because the parents are not teaching and providing a replacement behavior. They are punishing. They're stopping the behavior in the moment and punishing. So my book is full of alternatives to reach and teach without yelling and harsh punishment, and inspiring children to behave. And that is by recognizing the positive behaviors that they are doing.
Now, you mentioned something, Nana. You said that during that moment, we're thinking, well, they've done something that's not acceptable behavior. You call it a teaching opportunity.
Oh, it's everything that happens is a teaching opportunity, and children are learning and receiving information as we go along.
Give us an example.
Well, gee, there was just a study out with 5-month-old babies, amazing. And so they put some puppets, a gray puppet cat and an orange puppet cat and a puppy dog on, you know, in front of 5-month-olds who are sitting in car seats. And so the orange cat is trying to lift the lid, trying so hard. The gray cat comes over and lifts the lid for him. So now they're friends. And then the puppy dog comes over and jumps on the lid, and the two fall down. Then they say to the baby, do you like any of these? Who would you like to play with? And 90% of the time, the babies were reaching for the helping kitty cat. So we already are predetermined. We are positive thinkers. We go for the goodness in people. So when we are punishing our children, we are shutting them down. I've seen a funny little cartoon of a little boy with his nose against the wall that says, when she puts me in the corner, I'm sure not thinking about, you know, why I did this. I'm thinking about how I can do it again without being caught. And that's what it is. It's retaliation. It's defensive mechanisms that happen. It's not teaching. So what needs to happen is a behavior needs to stop immediately, whatever it is. Like if someone is hitting, you need to take their hand where they hit. If they kicked, you need to take their foot and say, you may not hit, or you may not kick, or whatever it is. And then, and tell that child, and when you're ready, before lunch, you must have a cutoff, or when you're ready, by the time the timer dings, whenever you're ready, you can come and apologize to your sister, and it needs to be with a touch. I'm sorry I hit you on your arm. It can't be just sorry. So that makes the child take accountability. One of the things that really will change behavior is this magic rock jar system, which I have developed. Simple, easy, inexpensive, and unbelievable. It's a 100% guarantee if the parents do it. So I just will quickly explain this, and there's some rules, and it's in my book of, you know, with great detail.
So now let's make sure everybody understands. This is just a regular jar?
It's a regular kind of like a mason jar, and I have large rocks here, and this rock jar takes 50 rocks. So
Okay.
I want this jar to be filled for my child within 5 to 7 days. So do I have to give 8 or 10 rocks in a day to make sure that this jar is filled within 7 days?
Okay.
Within there. You have to know what size jar and what size
Gotcha.
rocks you're getting. Okay, so it's my responsibility to carry the rocks in a pocket, in my purse or whatever, and I recognize and offer rocks for 3 things. Number 1, what do we want children to do? Listen the first time. I don't want to tell you 12 times.
Right.
So every time you listen the first time, you earn a magic rock. And I say, I love how you listened the first time. You
Right,
just
right.
earned yourself a magic rock, and then it goes into your jar. So this jar would be empty, but meanwhile, then you would be
Gotcha.
filling it up. Now, the second opportunity that children can earn rocks for is for doing what they're supposed to do. For instance, if you're supposed to come in, take off your shoes, and hang up your coat,
Yes.
but you never do,
You don't get
I'm
a
going
rock.
to what do I
Okay.
do every day? You didn't hang up your shoes. You didn't hang up your coat. What's the matter with you? I'm going to tell you, when I see you doing great things, what you were supposed to do without reminders,
Right.
you're going to earn a magic rock. So, again, you come in and I wonder if she's looking, and whatever I see, I will give you a magic rock for.
Right.
The third thing is for acts of kindness. So that can go anywhere. It can be in the grocery store, somebody holding a door for somebody, my helping you, carrying
Right.
groceries, and what it does is it ignites sibling dynamics in a
Okay.
better way.
Yes.
Because, oh, would you like me to read you a story? Can I help you with your homework? Oh, let me get that for you.
Right, right.
Because their goal is to earn the magic rocks.
Yes.
Does not matter what their goal is. The fact is that they are igniting positive behaviors in
excellent.
many ways. This is a very effective program. So anyway, now, as the rocks get full, and of course, if I could recognize 5 or 7 wonderful things that you did in a day, say what you see, tell the exact identity of, I saw that you.
Right, yes.
Put your dishes in the sink. Amazing, wonderful, you just earned yourself a magic rock. There's no bribing, because if I say, hurry up and get your coat on and I'll give you a magic rock, then you have a choice. I
Gotcha.
really don't want to
Okay,
get my
right.
coat on, so bribing is not effective.
Okay.
Removal, I just saw you hit your brother. You just
So you can't
lost
pull
5
through
times.
rock.
There's no pulling. They earn them for specific behaviors, and if this is done correctly and the rocks are being given constantly throughout the day, it's remarkable. By the next day, you will see unbelievable behavior. So now, the rock jar, when it is full, is for only intrinsic rewards, never extrinsic. Extrinsic is going and buying a toy
Right.
or doing things with friends.
Now that's where you lost some folks.
Okay, intrinsic
about
means
that.
family time. Why do children misbehave? Because they want our attention.
Attention.
So that's the prize of the jar, is my full attention.
What would the attention be? Give us an
Attention could
example.
be, we could have a bake-off party. We could make a cake and cookies. We could have a pizza party just for you, and your rock jar would go on the middle of the table, and we would talk about all the things I remember when you helped grandma with this or whatever. Meanwhile, for a pizza party, I would spend the extra $3 at the dollar store and buy balloons and streamers and party
Wow.
plates, and this is a true celebration. You could have an ice cream party with
Right.
whipped cream and whatever. So you could have a sleepover party in the living room
Yes.
with popcorn. I'm going on and on. There's so many inexpensive time with your parent activities to do.
I want to ask about the parent that's saying, well, Diana, that sounds so good, but I'm at work all day. When I come home, I can't get my jar filled up because I don't have the time.
Oh.
How do you help those parents that are frustrated with that?
Absolutely. So if you're
And they have 2 children, too small.
Perfect.
children.
Then they have 2 children. This is for the 3 and up crowd, 3 through
Okay.
15 or
15 years?
16. 16. I'm telling you, it works. I've had parents laugh at me and say, "You got to
Okay.
be kidding me." But in 3 cases, their daughters, I said, they will laugh at you. Don't be ridiculous. I don't want to earn these magic rocks.
Right.
But every time the mom said, "Well, I just saw you got your homework done without any complaints. You earned a magic rock," and then, "I don't care about that," is the response. But
Yes.
the mom puts the rocks in the jar gets half full. So Mom, what are we gonna do when the jar is full? We're gonna have a girls' day, nail day, or
Wow,
whatever.
yes.
So it works. Parents can find between 6 o'clock and 8:30, they can find little things that their kids are doing and then spend their weekend time with them. So like putting the cap on a toothpaste. That's what we want children to do,
Wow.
doing what they're supposed to do. Look for the little things, recognize it with a touch and with a magic rock.
Do
Change
this
the
for us,
behaviors.
Diana. There's an acronym you have, IDEA.
Okay, the idea is to first of all, identify the behavior. So many times we just get so frustrated and say, I can't stand this, these kids are out of control, whatever. Well, what specifically is the problem? Pick one. Well, I can't stand that my son just drops and goes. He drops his coat and he drops his socks, he drops and goes. I hate it. So that's identifying it.
Okay.
The D is determine, what are you going to do about it? What is the replacement behavior? What are you going to teach? The E is to be enthusiastic and to be effective and enforce what you need to do.
Excellent.
And the A is the attention that you're going to give once it's done. So, for instance, I think the D, the developing a behavior plan, is perhaps the most difficult piece of it. For instance, if a child drops and goes, I developed a pickup pail. Do I have 30 seconds left?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a bucket from the dollar store with a handle on it that you'd wash your car with.
Right.
Give that to your child, let them decorate it, whatever. And this works from 3 to 10-year-olds. So every night before dinner, they go to the closet, get out their pickup pail, they walk around the house, and they pick things up. So you're eliminating the nagging. You help them pick things up. You help them put those things away, whether or not they go in the bathroom or the kitchen or the bedroom or the playroom or wherever they go. And what happens is, over time, first of all, the child feels supported by having the parent follow them around and pick things up with them. And they're becoming responsible for their belongings. And the long-term learning that happens is that the child learns, if I drop this, she's just going to make me pick this up. I might as well do it now. So they learn the responsibility. So that's how the idea works, is take a problem, develop a plan, and work on it.
Tremendous. Diana, you share such tremendous information.
Thank
Gotta
you.
let the audience know again who we've been speaking with. Having the pleasure of talking to Ms. Diana Bossier. She's been sharing some tremendous information, particularly on this segment about behavior modification. Share some tremendous topics and tips for us. But again, I'm going to ask her real quickly if she can let us know how you can maybe get some additional information, because she's shared already some things that can help us out so much. But of course, the most important thing is you take it and make it usable information for yourself. How about that, Diana, as I get ready to wrap up?
Great. My website is parentwithapurpose.com. I am on Facebook. My syndicated column is listed on the website, so if you have a problem with sleep or toileting or teenagers or whatever, you can just log on to according to category. So I hope viewers will just really click on and cruise around and find some good, helpful information.
Tremendous. Diana, we got to make this regular. You have such tremendous information. Thank you so much for coming out and being with us today. And those that have just been tuning in to join our town, again, we've been having the pleasure of speaking with Diana Bossier. She shared some tremendous information with us already about behavior modification. Hope you got that website again so that you can get in contact with her. I'm asking her to give it to you just one more time. Just make sure you have it as we get ready to wrap up. The website there?
Parentwithapurpose.com.
Tremendous. What a tremendous name also.
Thank
Diana, thank you again so much for being out here with us today on Join Our Town and sharing with us. And thank you again, of course, for being a part of Join Our Town. Remember, we're here to give you information to help you to grow in your relationship with your children, families, and just in the knowledge of our community. And as you're doing that, doing it, of course, with a great deal of joy and increasing that knowledge that we have. Thank you again for being with us on Join Our Town. God bless you, and we'll see you next time on Joy. All right.